All right, get this. We're going to dive into a future where sending money across borders is as easy as sending a text.
Really?
Yeah. Instant transfers, no more waiting days for things to clear.
Oh, like, that's gonna be pretty far off, though, right?
Sounds like sci-fi, I know, but it's closer than you think.
Mm.
Today we're taking a deep dive into how digital assets are going to completely overhaul the global financial system.
Okay.
Imagine a world where everything is traded like stocks. Your morning coffee, a piece of digital art.
Wow, that is a big change.
It's happening faster than people realize.
I guess if you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss.
Yeah. And we've got insights from some serious heavy hitters in the field to guide us.
Oh, nice. Who are we talking about?
People like Loretta Joseph,
Okay, I know her.
managing director at Policy Group, advising global organizations like the OECD on navigating this whole new world.
Wow, she's got a big job.
And she's not the only one.
Hmm.
A VP at CGI, a major IT consulting firm, said that by November 2025,
That's just next year.
right, we're going to see a massive surge in real-time cross-border payments.
What's making that possible all of a sudden?
It's the infrastructure finally catching up with the demand.
Mm.
The systems we use now, clunky, slow, expensive,
Yeah, it's true.
but blockchain, faster payment rails, they're making instant global transfers a reality.
Okay, so real quick,
Yeah,
paint me a picture. I'm on vacation in Bali,
love it.
and I need to send money home. What does that look like in this new world?
Easy. Instead of finding a bank, filling out tons of paperwork, you just pull out your phone, tap a few buttons, boom, money's there.
Wow, that's a game changer.
Totally. For individuals, businesses, the entire global economy.
Makes sense.
Now, there's this rumor going around that SWIFT, the system handling most international payments right now, is going to disappear.
Is that true?
Not quite. It's more nuanced than that. Some
Yeah.
regions might try other things, but SWIFT itself, it's adapting.
Really? How?
They're integrating blockchain into their systems. They've partnered with Chainlink, a platform connecting real-world data to blockchains.
Hold on. So instead of getting replaced, Swift is basically joining the revolution.
Exactly. They realize they need to evolve to stay relevant. It's not about one system wiping out another.
Hmm.
It's how these technologies can work together.
I see. It's about collaboration.
Okay, so real-time payments are on the horizon. The old guard is adapting. But get ready for this. Loretta Joseph predicts that within 18 months,
That's the end of 2025, early 2026.
yeah, almost every asset imaginable will be tokenized. McDonald's shares, virtual real estate in the metaverse, your first edition comic book.
Whoa, tokenized. That's a lot to unpack.
It's a world where anything of value can be represented digitally on a blockchain.
So what does that actually mean for me? Let's say my favorite band releases a new album as a token.
Okay,
What's different?
imagine you could buy a piece of that album, almost like owning a share. And you could trade that piece with other fans instantly, anywhere.
Wait, so I could own a tiny piece of a hit song?
It's about fractional ownership, new ways to invest, unlocking value that was previously hard to trade.
That's pretty wild. And this is happening at the same time as another big change. Everyone is going to be using cryptocurrency.
Whoa, everyone.
That's what Loretta Joseph and experts from Pantera Capital, a major crypto investment firm, believe. Within 5 to 10 years, almost everyone will own some form of cryptocurrency.
So does that mean we'll all be Bitcoin millionaires? What does that actually look like in the real world?
Maybe not millionaires, but think about the potential for financial inclusion. Loretta Joseph told this amazing story about how stablecoins,
Cryptocurrencies that hold a stable value.
right, and mobile wallets are giving people in emerging markets, especially in Africa, access to financial services they never had before.
It's about people who couldn't get a bank account suddenly being able to send money, save money, and even participate in global markets.
It's about empowerment.
I see why Loretta Joseph called this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's like we're standing on the edge of something truly massive.
Yeah, it reminds me of the early days of the internet, when everything felt new and full of potential.
Back then, people thought the internet was a fad.
Right. But those who saw its potential early on,
They rode that wave of innovation.
and just like the internet changed how we communicate, learn, and do business, this is going to reshape how we think about money.
I'm getting those early internet vibes too. It's like witnessing the birth of a new world. Exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time.
For sure. So for someone hearing this for the first time, where do they even start to make sense of it all?
First, awareness. Understand this isn't some distant sci-fi future. These changes are happening now and they're going to impact everyone.
Okay, what else?
Education. The more you learn about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, how this new system works, the better you'll be able to navigate it.
So, like, don't freak out, but definitely pay attention.
Yeah, and maybe ask yourself, what role do I want to play in all this?
Exactly. Spectator or participant? It's a big question.
That's it for part one. We've covered a lot. Instant global payments, tokenizing everything, and cryptocurrency becoming a part of everyone's lives in the next decade.
It's a lot to digest.
We'll dive even deeper into the practical stuff in part two.
How these changes will impact people, businesses, the global economy.
And we'll ask the tough questions about building a financial system that works for everyone.
Exciting stuff.
Stay tuned for part two. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to our deep dive. In part one, we laid out the groundwork for this huge change in finance.
Real-time payments, tokenization, the idea that pretty much everyone will own cryptocurrency within the next 10 years.
Yeah, a lot to wrap your head around.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Mm-hmm.
But let's break it
What
down,
the?
make it real. How will this revolution actually impact people?
Well, remember that story Loretta Joseph told about the impact of stablecoins and mobile wallets?
Yeah, in emerging markets.
People who've never had access to traditional banking suddenly participating in the global economy.
It's like opening up a whole new world of opportunity for them.
Exactly. And it's not just individuals. Small businesses in developing countries can now access global markets, funding they couldn't get before.
The potential is huge. But let's be realistic. There are always challenges with big technological shifts.
Definitely.
What hurdles do we need to overcome to make this inclusive, accessible financial system a reality?
Regulation is a big one. Governments are still figuring out how to regulate digital assets.
Right. How to encourage innovation while protecting consumers and preventing illegal activity.
It's a tough balance. It's going to take time to get it right.
Like letting kids loose in a candy store with no supervision. What else?
Cybersecurity. As more of our financial lives go online onto blockchains, the stakes get higher. We need strong security to protect against hacks, theft, fraud.
It's not just about the money, it's our privacy, our identities.
Exactly. You wouldn't buy a new sports car without airbags and anti-lock brakes, right?
Good point. We can't get so excited about new tech that we forget about the risks.
It's important to be cautious and think critically.
This reminds me of something we talked about earlier. SWIFT, the system for international payments, it's not going away.
It's evolving.
Like the dinosaurs of finance are learning to fly.
Uh-huh. I like that. And it's not just SWIFT. Traditional banks, payment processors, even governments are experimenting with blockchain and digital currencies.
They're realizing they need to adapt or risk being left behind.
It's true.
So we've got this brand new financial ecosystem emerging. New players, new technologies, new rules. How do we navigate this as individuals? It feels a little like the Wild West out there.
It can be overwhelming. The key is education.
Learning about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, the basics of this new system.
Exactly. The more you understand, the better decisions you can make. It's like learning a new language.
Opens up a whole new world.
Yeah.
So where do we go to learn? Are we talking about hours of reading white papers and technical documents?
Luckily, no. There are tons of resources out there for all levels. Online courses, podcasts like this one, books, online communities where you can connect with others.
So there are people out there who are just as curious as I am. What advice would you give someone starting out?
Start small. Don't feel like you need to invest a ton of money or jump into complex trading strategies right away.
Learn the basics, experiment with different platforms, maybe dip your toes in with a small investment.
Find what you're comfortable with.
Great advice. It's easy to get caught up in the get-rich-quick hype.
Yeah. But remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
And do your research. Understand the risks.
Absolutely. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Be wary of anyone promising guaranteed returns or fast profits.
This has been eye-opening. I'm starting to understand the scale of this financial revolution.
But there's always more to learn.
It's like peeking into the future. Exciting and a little daunting.
That's the beauty of it. We're all exploring this new frontier together.
Endless possibilities. It's like setting sail for uncharted territory.
There will be challenges, but the rewards could be huge.
We've covered the potential benefits and challenges of this financial revolution. Its impact on people, businesses, the evolving role of traditional financial institutions.
We talked about regulation, cybersecurity, and education.
And in part 3, we'll shift our focus to the big picture.
The philosophical and ethical questions.
What does it mean to live in a world where everything is tokenized? What are the risks and rewards of a decentralized financial system?
And how can we make sure everyone benefits?
It's about to get deep. Join us for the final part of our deep dive as we continue to unravel the future of finance. All right, deep divers, welcome back. We've explored all the technical stuff, the trends, the potential good and bad of this financial revolution.
Right.
But now, let's zoom out. Think bigger picture. What are the philosophical, even ethical implications of this new world we're building?
It's a great question. We're not just talking about new ways to move money around or invest, right? We're redefining the meaning of value itself.
Okay, I like that.
When you can tokenize a song, a piece of art, even a virtual experience, what does value really even mean?
It's like we're moving away from traditional ideas of scarcity, right? Tangible assets. Is value now just about how something's represented digitally on a blockchain? It's like we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Kind of. We have to rethink our assumptions about ownership, worth, how we decide what something's worth in this digital world.
That makes sense.
And with that comes a whole bunch of ethical considerations. Like, let's talk about privacy for a second.
Okay.
Blockchains are transparent by design. Every transaction is recorded, publicly viewable.
Right.
That's good for transparency and accountability, but it raises questions about individual privacy, too.
It's a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah.
Transparency can be good, but it can also be misused. If every financial move I make is public, it could be a surveillance nightmare.
Exactly. Imagine a world where your spending habits, your investments, every financial decision is out there forever.
A little creepy.
It is.
Mm.
So how do we balance the good of transparency with the need for privacy in this new world?
Well, maybe technology can help. I heard about things like privacy-enhancing cryptocurrencies.
Right.
And zero-knowledge proofs. They allow transactions to be verified without revealing who's involved.
It's like a secret handshake that proves you're legit without showing your ID.
Yeah.
These advances are promising, but we also need strong laws to protect our privacy in this digital age. It's finding the right balance between innovation and protecting fundamental rights.
It's not just about the tech, it's about the rules around it.
Right.
This brings up another big question. Who gets to govern this system?
Okay.
Are we shifting power from old institutions to tech giants and corporations, or are we actually building a more decentralized, democratic financial system?
That's the core of the debate about blockchain and decentralization, right? The ideal is a system where power is spread out, not controlled by a few.
So it's like moving away from that we know best model to a more collaborative approach.
Exactly. That's where the idea of decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, comes in. Imagine a system where decisions are made by a community, not by a few executives.
Sounds radical,
Yeah.
but also kind of awesome. Like everyone has a voice, a stake in the system.
That's the potential. True decentralization is hard. It's an experiment. But the goal is to make things more transparent, accountable, and fair for everyone.
We've covered a ton in this deep dive.
We have.
From the technical details of blockchain and cryptocurrency to the big philosophical questions this revolution raises.
Yeah.
It feels like we're in a crossroads, and the choices we make now will impact finance for generations to come.
It's an exciting, challenging time. We have a chance to build a better system, more inclusive, efficient, and empowering. But we need to be aware of the risks, and we need to work together.
So, deep divers, remember this. The future of finance isn't something that's just happening to us. We're shaping it. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay involved.
And who knows, maybe you'll be sharing your insights on an episode of The Deep Dive someday. Until then, keep exploring, keep asking questions.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the future of finance. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into a topic that's changing our world.